Space and time are the core themes in Chrono Odyssey, as the name might imply. We've seen in several different clips of gameplay footage where players are able to stop, slow, or even reverse time itself. This got me thinking about what skills will be available, along with how the character progression might work in a PvE/VP game focused around time mechanics. I have not had the chance to test the game as of yet, hopefully soon on June 20th. Good luck to everyone who's signed up for the closed beta test. So most of this video is going to be speculation based on some of the lore descriptions that we've seen posted on the official Discord, along with some hints in the trailers themselves. If you like this cat, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more of Rio in the future. The first thing we need to understand is where our powers come from as players. The core tool we will have access to is called the Chronotector. This description comes straight from Discord. The Chronotector is a sacred relic imbued with the power of Chronos. This tool takes on the form of a clock, but its appearance and unique ability are dependent on which planet it is bound to. Chronos is essentially the god of creation in this universe. We also know that Chronotectors are assigned to Sentinels, who are basically the wardens of time and considered to be demigods on their respective planet. Each planet can only have up to one Sentinel, and we the players are the Sentinel of the planet Cetera. We currently know of 6 Sentinels in total, including us the players, and we have brief descriptions of their abilities. Community manager Jenny goes on to share brief description of these 6 abilities. These descriptions are pretty bare bones, so this is where a lot of speculation on how these abilities work will come into play. However, some of these abilities we've actually seen in trailers, so there's a little bit of evidence to back them up. The first of these abilities is the one that is assigned to the player. This is time reversal. This is the ability to record a specific point in space-time, allowing the caster to revert to that exact state. This sounds like you will take a snapshot of your current health status and position, and then after a short period or on command, you will snap back to that saved state. I could see this ability having impacts in both exploration and combat. In terms of exploration, you can use this on a tall cliffside. If you're unsure you can make a specific jump, this will give you some insurance by using time reversal in case you fail this jump and you fall to your demise. The second ability here is time stasis, and this is the ability to freeze time. We see this in action as the player causes a group of enemies to freeze, allowing for the player to freely damage them. This seems to be more of a crowd control ability, but it still looks extremely strong, so you can assume that it's going to be more combat based, and we've also seen it in several clips. The third ability is Time Mirage, and this grants the ability to create duplicate versions of the caster across multiple timelines. This description is a little unclear. I wonder if this means that we will simply create mirror images of ourselves in our world that we're currently in, or if it means that we're going to be using this more as a role-playing tool where we can explore alternate timelines and help with exploration. I think it could have implications in both combat and exploration. The fourth is Summon Spectre, and this grants the ability to summon and command immortal specters. This makes me think of Elden Ring, to be honest, where you might use your summons to help you out in combat. This could be a very powerful tool to help alleviate some challenges for players in solo scenarios. Fifth, we have Temporal Expansion, and this grants access to the ever-expanding time matrix, allowing the caster to harness its full potential. If I'm being honest, I have no clue how to interpret this. It straight up sounds like something from Jujutsu Kaisen with a time-based domain expansion. So really, what are your thoughts about this? Let me know down in the comments. If I had to guess, I would think that this is something that decreases the rate of your weapon skill cooldowns or something like that, so that way it would let you repeat powerful weapon combos more often. The sixth ability is Temporal Tuning, and we don't know much about this one other than this one allows you to manipulate the flow of past, present, and future. So far, we've only heard of 6 total Sentinels and their Chronotector abilities, but community manager Jenny has mentioned that there's a total of 12 worlds. So I wonder if this is just a setup to leave room for future expansions and new Chronotector abilities, or if it simply means that the other 6 worlds have already fallen to the void and now are more of desolate wastelands. So now that we've gotten the summary of the different Sentinels' Chronotector abilities, here's where the character progression comes into play. Once again, on Discord, there is a description of each Sentinel and a bit of a glimpse into their personalities. 2 of these Sentinels in particular really stand out. The first Sentinel is Petra. She holds the power of Summon Spectre, and in her specific description, it mentions that she empowers the specters the players have obtained. So again, I mentioned that it sounds like Elden Ring. I think that this further reinforces that idea. As we progress through the main questline, I'm guessing we will unlock summons, perhaps historical figures of significance, to aid us in combat scenarios. These summons will likely be available to players as a means to reduce a challenge in a particular solo instance, since we know that the game will have solo-based content. So my guess is that Petra will have the ability to further level up these specters that we have access to, keeping them relevant throughout the entire game. It's unclear what will be required to empower a specter currently, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is a specific currency related to summons. The second Sentinel of significance is Elon. He carries the Temporal Expansion Chronotector ability, and in his specific description, it's mentioned that he aids the protagonist by expanding their matrix, unlocking the potential for even greater power. So it clearly states that he's going to power up the players, but in what ways isn't exactly clear. I have two guesses for what this means. First, it means that players will be able to unlock additional Chronotector powers through Elon. My guess would be as we progress through the main quest line, we acquire items that can be provided to Elon, who in return grants us powers of other Chronotectors. We already have the power to use time reversal, but again, in different clips, we see players stopping time entirely using their time stasis ability, so it's pretty clear that we have access to other Chronotector powers. My second guess is that Elon functions in a way that levels up the Chronotector powers that we've acquired. This could come in a few different ways. For example, maybe he powers up time reversal so that it has a shorter cooldown. Or maybe he powers up the time stasis ability to have a longer lasting stun. Either way, we know for certain that it seems we will have access to the Chronotector abilities of the other Sentinels. We've seen in clips where we use time reversal, time stop, and then it's mentioned that we will be able to power up our summons through Petra. So that's already 3 out of the 6 abilities, and it's probably safe to assume that we will have access to more. But that's gonna wrap up this little speculation video. Because we are in full speculation mode right now, let's hear your crazy takes about the different Chronotector abilities down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful for explaining the world of Chrono Odyssey, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel to stay notified for more Chrono Odyssey content in the near future. I'm Goober Troy, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.